Anglicanism came to Virginia in 1607 with the settlers who founded Jamestown, the charter of the Church of England, and between 1607 and its dissolution in 1624, the company sent 22 ministers to the colony. These ministers were not only concerned for the spiritual lives of the colonists, but also attempted, largely unsuccessfully, to convert the Native Americans. After Virginia was made a royal colony in 1624, it would face an acute and serious clergy shortage until the end of the 17th century. In Virginia, vestries, usually consisting of 12 wealthy men, could appoint and remove ministers. Colonial parishes were units of local government and social welfare agencies. In addition to paying the minister's salary and building churches, the parish levy provided the vestry with funding for poor relief. Vestries were in charge of road maintenance, presented moral offenders to the county courts, and determined the legal bounds of an individual's land. In 1786, the Virginia Assembly passed the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, written by Thomas Jefferson and supported by James Madison. It also repealed the Act of Incorporation for the Virginia Church and took from the vestries the oversight of poor relief. Baptists and Presbyterians were proposing that all property of the colonial parishes, glebes, church buildings, churchyards, communion silver, and Bibles be sold for the benefit of all Virginians. Even with a 1788 law confirming the Episcopal Church's right to the colonial church property and the repeal of all laws creating an established church in 1799, efforts to disendow the Episcopal Church continued. In 1801, the General Assembly passed a law authorizing county overseers of the poor to sell property of the former established church, using the money for education and the poor. As late as 1814, the General Assembly was still authorizing the sale of specific parish silvers and bells, and in 1841, the Virginia Supreme Court of Appeals ruled in a case involving the seizure of a parish glebe. After the Episcopal Church lost a challenge to the 1801 law, Bishop Madison focused on keeping the College of William and Mary going. Congestive heart failure made it difficult for Madison to travel, and the diocese suffered decline that lasted beyond his death in 1812. Fortunately, 1823 brought the opening of the Virginia Theological Seminary in Alexandria, which finally provided the diocese with the replenishing source of clergy it needed to rebuild. Thank you for watching, and please tune in tomorrow for our next episode of St. Peter's 150.